Hello, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday. It's good to be back. I feel like I'm back in the studio, back to work. The reason being is because we had a really long weekend in Austin. So if you don't know this, I live in Texas. I'm actually just like northwest of Houston. And we have family that lives in Austin. And we decided to do this impromptu, hey, let's get out of town. Let's go visit some family. And it was so good. It was so good. We had so much fun. But I also feel like I've been playing catch up for the last like 48 hours of like, oh my gosh, like we did so many things, and we're going out of town next week for the 4th of July. We have this annual trip that we do every year where we go see my husband's family that lives out in West Texas, and we always spend 4th of July there. So we're going to be doing this like roundabout from Houston to the Dallas-Fort Worth area to see my family, and then we're going out to West Texas, and then we'll be coming back. So we're doing this like triangle thing, like all over Texas in like, 2 weeks, and it's craziness. So if you listen to my podcast, I actually have, it's the Potty Report podcast. There it is right there. I always get this wrong. Right there. This is my daily show that I have. And I was talking today, or no, it was yesterday's episode about planning for vacation and what that looks like. So if you've never heard my daily podcast, check it out wherever you listen to podcast and just search up the Potty Report. Yes, that is a woman sitting on the toilet looking at her phone, because let's just be honest, we listen to things in the bathroom all the time. We look at our phones in the bathroom. Like don't act like it's just me. Okay? Like don't try to single me out. I know that more people do this too. But yes, this is my daily show, and it's 5 minutes or less, Monday through Friday. And it's a lot of the things, there's a lot of reasons why I created this podcast. If you want to get into a daily podcast and you have questions about it, let me know. But I created this show last year, right at the beginning of the pandemic, and it has been something that is just, it's like my creative playground where I will sometimes test content with the listeners that are there to see, how interested they are in something. And it's also Kathy. Shout out Kathy. She's one of our Profit Podcasting students, and she's someone who's become a dear friend of mine in this journey. And she tells me, she's like, I listen to you every morning when I'm having my coffee. So it's like we're just sitting around chatting, and I'm like, oh, that just makes my heart so happy. So yeah, go check out the Potty Report if you're wondering, how do I take time off of my podcast or my content, and you're just like, I just don't even know how to plan it. Go ahead and check that out, because I'm actually going to be talking about, I think it comes out later this week. I don't remember exactly which day of the week it comes out, but I know I recorded an episode about planning for Q3. I said that really weird. I normally say quarter, like just throw it all together, Q3. But yeah, I'm doing an episode on planning for Q3 of 2021. So yeah. Hey everybody. Hey Nanette. Y'all, Nanette is my mom. Hi mom. So happy that you're here. Yes, family time is priceless, Laura. I could not agree more. We had so much fun, and I'm excited to take some time off. And I was telling actually Melanie, she's here. Hey Mel. I was telling Melanie and our other good friend Heather, we have a continuous chat always going on, like on Voxer, and we're always chatting and sharing about our business and what's going on in our lives. And I told them, this feels like hell week a little bit for me, because I'm trying to get all of my content done for the next 10 days, which is podcast episodes, YouTube videos, some social posts, and other things that I need to kind of button up before we go out of town, because I want to relax, y'all. I want to just check out and really enjoy time with my family, with my husband's family, and just all the people that we're going to see over the next 10 days. Plus, I really love hanging out poolside, like grabbing a book. Actually, okay, this is another thing. And then I promise we're going to get into podcasts. So if you have questions about podcasting, put it in the chat below, and actually tell me where you're watching from. Actually, I want to know where everybody's watching from. It's always fun to see globally where everybody is, and just kind of the different aspects of where we have people here. But I forgot my book this last weekend. I wanted to read. I was thinking, oh, we're going to go, which in hindsight, it's probably wasn't the worst thing that I forgot my book because we went out on Lake Travis for several hours on Saturday, and having a book on a boat it's not always the best option, right? Because I'm super clumsy. I probably would have got it really wet anyway. But yeah, it was so much fun. But I have this book. It's Essentialism by Greg Mcgowan, and I've had it forever and I need to read it. So I've read probably the first 2 or 3 chapters, and I'm like, I'm taking it this weekend when we go out of town so I can make sure that I read it and finish it. Like, I mean, I'm putting off a book called Essentialism. That seems a little counterproductive, right? But you get it. You get it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I promise. And if you have any questions while we're here live, put them in the chat below. I'm going to talk about today's podcast episode that we just released, but also if you have any questions about podcasting, absolutely put it in there. I'm having a hard time getting back in the group after 3 funerals. Yeah, exactly. So like I said, Nanette is my mom. And so I personally know that she has had a hard time. She actually just started a new position as well. So as a content creator, that can be really challenging. It can be really challenging whenever you have a new schedule to adapt to. If you are not feeling it, I know I often hear people say, I just can't do it anymore. I just don't have the drive. I don't have the energy. And I am going to be the first one to tell you it is okay to take a break. And it is actually a good thing for your content and for your audience if you take a step back and kind of do a reevaluation of what your goal is, what your vision is, and where you actually want to take the content that you're creating instead of forcing yourself to just throw something up there, right? Like throw that mediocre piece of content up there just because you're supposed to have something out there. I don't think that that's a great strategy. I would rather see someone take a week off, 2 weeks off, a month off, whatever that looks like for you, but just come back. Have it in your mind, okay, I'm going to take the next 30 days off, right? I think 30 days is maximum before you have to decide, are you just going to stop? Are you going to pivot? Are you going to change directions? Are you going to switch up the format? But whenever you're thinking about content that way, and the reason why I say 30 days is because I'm always, this is going to sound really funky, but just stay with me here because I want you to think this way too. I am, as a business owner, constantly obsessed with my own thinking. Now, okay, I know that sounds weird, but I'm going to explain it. What I mean by that is I will give someone advice and then I ask myself, do I do that as a consumer of other people's products, podcast, websites, social media, whatever it is, movies, music? I'm constantly obsessed with what makes me tick or what gets me to purchase something. What is the thing that I am just drawn to someone? Is it their personality? Is it how they show up all the time? Is it really being able to, have this connection with someone? Is it relatability? So I want you to become obsessed with your own way of thinking when it comes to how you consume products, how you follow people online, and even just your regular behaviors with things like email, social media, the TV, the radio, podcasts. Like just think, how often do I do this? And ask yourself, if someone I was following right now, let's imagine you have a podcast you're obsessed with. You're absolutely like every single week you're like, oh my gosh, it comes out. Okay, it's out. Like it's Tuesday morning. I know it's going to be there. I'm going to go watch and I'm going to go make sure that it's there. What if they're not there today? Right? It's Tuesday when I'm recording this. What if I went and the podcast I typically listen to on Tuesday morning just was not there? Would I be concerned? Would I say, oh, well, maybe it'll just get uploaded later, and I'd probably check my phone like maybe at noon if I checked it in the morning. And if it's still not there, I would say, that's kind of strange. So I check it again at like 4. Okay, it's still not there. So I don't know, maybe they skipped a day and I wouldn't really think about it. Or maybe I would go check their social media and say, oh, okay, like they're there, like it's coming. Or maybe they had a technical glitch. But when it comes to if someone hasn't like they're hooking me, right? Like they haven't hooked me into their content in more than a month, and it's someone that I used to consume, there's a reason. There's a disconnect between who that person is and the content they're creating and the person that I am or the person that I'm becoming. Now we're going to get really deep here for a second because I have grown out of some of the content creators that I started following in the very beginning of my journey. And I have a great example. There was a blogging mentor that I had at the very beginning of my journey who I have since kind of distanced from myself, and it wasn't intentional. It was more of, I'm not really looking to blog and grow a blog that has millions of visitors every single week and then turn those visitors into ad revenue because I'm just going to put ads all over my website and have pop-ups and have all these like, Hefty or Brawny or Ford, putting all these ads on my website. Like, that is not the way that I have built my business. So I have since distanced myself from that mentor. And this happened organically. Like I said, over time, it was an unintentional thing. But as I grew out of that mentor. And the same things may happen to you as well. You may decide that you want to go in a different direction with your content, or maybe you want to have a different type of business than you originally, maybe you started saying, I want to have a course business, but then you started doing some coaching and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the route I want to go. Or you want to start a membership. That's okay. I think we're constantly in this evolution process of our business and our online journeys. But I think it's really important to note that when you take a break from your content, even if you have 2 listeners, people tend to notice and then they tend to forget. So they'll notice for a little while, like, oh, they haven't posted in a while. And they may actually forget about your content if you stop posting altogether for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. And they're like, oh, wait, I forgot that I was constantly doing that. But I have since replaced that person, that content, with another content creator that keeps showing up. So while I think taking a break from your content, if you need it, I think that you should take maximum 30 days. And that means 30 days of deciding, is this the route you want to go? Do you want to keep going down this way? Do you need a rebrand? Do you need a pivot? Is what you're doing burning you out? Because that could absolutely happen. And I'm not talking to any person here in particular. I'm talking to everybody. I've had moments of almost having burnout situations, and it's why I have changed my content to accommodate my lifestyle. I have 3 small kids, and I have all of them home with me this summer. It's been a little chaotic. I'm not going to lie. Like all of a sudden I went from they were getting on the school bus, every single day of the week to now I'm all of a sudden an Uber driver taking them to all these summer camps. And I'm like, what were we even thinking? I was in my car for an hour and a half yesterday. Y'all, during the school year, I'm never in my car that much. And I will be in my car again today for another hour and a half, like chauffeuring people around town all day. But it's why I have adapted my content for that to work, right? I have different batching strategies that I'm doing, and I'm not doing a bunch of interviews this summer because that does not fit into my lifestyle. So that's just my 2 cents on content creation and how you can adapt it to what you're doing right now and how it can help you in the future. But I think we all hit this like kind of a wall of, am I burned out? Do I need to still keep going? Am I not in love with my content? Like constantly be asking yourself, where's the friction in my content? Is it in creating it? Is it recording it? Is it editing it? Is it marketing it? Is it getting new guests? Like actually, and this is why I'm such a fan. If you've been around here for a while, I'm a fan of journaling. I'm a fan of all my good, here, look at these, y'all. I'm about to run out, okay? I'm about to run out. These are my famous notebooks where I do like my brainstorming. Y'all are totally gonna make fun of me. Okay, I buy these when it's like, this is my last one. Good thing school supply season is right around the corner. I will go and I will buy a ton of these little notebooks. They're like 25 cents or something whenever school supply season comes around. So I will buy them in bulk. I have this one. It's been sitting literally on my desk. I can't get this angle right. There we go. It's been sitting on my desk right behind this one for about 2 weeks because I know this one it's right on the edge. It's right. I think there might be 5 pages left in the back. And I'm like, oh, if I run out and this one, I got to make sure I have this one. It's like my security blanket. Y'all, I have a journal security blanket. I feel like this is should be discussed in a therapy session. I don't know, but I write things down and then I'm constantly saying, is this working? Is this fun? Is this fun? If you need just one question of the day to ask yourself is this fun? Whatever you're doing in your content creation, that should be the number one question. And if the answer is no, I hate what I'm doing, y'all, this is the sign. If you need a sign, I'm holding up your sign right now. This is your sign. You need to do some reevaluations of the content you're creating. Okay, yeah, Melanie, I think she feels attacked. She feels attacked right now. I thought you were talking to me. No, not talking to anyone in particular. No one in particular, okay? Just calm down. I'm not calling you out. If you need me to, I will. If we need to have a tough love talk about content creation, we can 100% do that. Oh, I bought so many new stickers. Are you talking about journaling stickers? That's not really ever been my thing. I've had, there was a planner that I used for a long time. I don't have it over here. Oh, I think it's in the floor over there. I got to go off screen. But I had a planner that it came with these stickers in the background or in the back, 5 pages of the planner. And the person that created this planner was so excited because they're you have stickers for everything. You can put for dentist appointments, for kids' birthday parties, and all these other things. And I'm like, that just seems like so much work. And it's just a sticker. It's just a sticker. But it just seemed like so much work. So yeah, Laura, I love that you like stickers. It's not my thing. It's not my thing. I do have, hang on. Do you see this one right here? Oh, see, I can do it today. I have some Buzzsprout stickers. This is my podcast hosting platform. I have some of those, and I've been trying to think of where else I can put them. I think I still have 10 more in a drawer somewhere. So yeah. Yes, it has to be fun. It has to be fun. Whatever you're doing, it has to be fun. So if that is the only thing you take away from this is asking yourself, am I having fun? Do I even like this anymore? Am I even excited about talking about podcasting? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am happy. I will not be pivoting my content anytime soon. I have had people ask me about business, a podcast business, excuse me, which is a little bit different than just running a podcast. And I'm that feels like a little shiny object syndrome. If you listen to the Potty Report, we talked about, actually, that might be the one. Y'all, I just keep talking about the Potty Report. And I have absolutely no idea what today's episode was about. So I'm going to look this up real fast because in this week, I talked about shiny objects versus timely opportunities. And this was really important because there have been recently some projects come across my desk. And I'm like, is this a shiny object? Or is this something that I need to jump on? Is this a timely opportunity? And I don't remember when that episode comes out. So bear with me 1 second. Oh, it comes out tomorrow. Okay, good. So I'm like, I think I'm a little ahead. So that's a little premature. So that gives you a reason to go listen to the Potty Report. And I'm going to put it back up here real fast. There we go. So right up here, go listen to my daily show. It's a lot of fun. It's 5 minutes or less, like I said. Okay, and then on Friday is when we're going to talk about planning for Q3 of 2021. So that's coming up. That's coming up soon. But yeah, I love the idea of talking to people about creating their podcast business instead of just a podcast, because it is very, very different to look at your podcast as a business from the very beginning, as opposed to I'm just starting something. We'll see where this takes me. There's a more strategy involved. And I think that I don't know. It's something I'm floating the idea around back here, but it's not something that I'm going to execute on anytime soon. Like it's one of those, like, let's push that off to 2022 because my brain can't hold any more ideas right now. I have so many fun things that are coming up in the next, oh my gosh, y'all, it's not that far away, in the next few weeks. So here I can kind of share with you a little bit about quarter 3. We have B School. The B School program is launching. This is Marie Forleo's program that I'm super excited about. It has been one of those courses that was like the pivotal game shift changer for me. And I'm really excited. That's coming up in July. And then in August, I'm going to be at Podcast Movement, which I'm so excited about, a little nervous about. I'm going to be talking with some of my other fellow Buzzsprout creators. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm nervous, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And then in September, I'm going to be doing another fun affiliate launch that you're just going to have to wait. You're just going to have to wait and hear more about that later. But okay, so Laura has a question. How long did it take to write your book? Great question. So let me change this. This is kind of driving me crazy because it's like all up over my face. There we go. Okay. So how long did it take to write your book? So let me grab one. Laura's asking, I have started Binge Worthy Podcast. This is my book. You can go to thebestpodcastbook.com and go grab a copy. It's on Amazon. I actually am releasing the audiobook very soon. Stay tuned for that one. But so Laura, this is such a loaded question in the different stages of creating an actual book. All together, if you want to know all in from the time that I said I'm going to write this book to the time that I launched it, it was less than a year. It was probably around 10 months altogether. No, I take that back. It would have been 11 months, but there's a few months in there of the pandemic starting and just chaos and figuring out how I wanted it to happen and like the different things. There were some waiting periods whenever I sent it off to my editor. I did hire an editor for this. But yeah, so around 11 months. I would say no shorter than that for anyone that's looking to go from just an idea to a published book. There's a few reasons why. I don't think it's a great idea to just write a book. Y'all, excuse me. I don't know what's going on. Got a little tickle in my throat. But I think that it's important to build at least a 6-month marketing plan into creating and launching a book. Now, there's a few different levels of marketing. I self-published this. I hired a book copy, jacket copy, like a cover person. Why can't I think of what it's called? A cover designer. So a book jacket cover designer. I had someone help me with that. I did my own formatting on the inside. So that took some time. But I did hire an editor, and most of the time that it took to write the book or to like create it in those 11 months was not in actually just writing the book. I could have written everything that was in here in probably 30 days or less, but where the real work happens is in the editing, the marketing, the formatting, making sure that you are delivering a product that is perfect for your audience. And it all comes down to what the goal is of writing a book, right? Because I wrote this book for several reasons. This isn't my first book. I've self-published another book a few years ago. But the goal with this one was to have a physical copy that I could have for speaking engagements, that I could have, honestly, to say I've written a book on podcasting. It's kind of like one of those feather in your hat kind of things that, yes, I know what I'm talking about. I've written a book on it. And I also wanted to have a lower ticket price point for people to learn from me. You know, if someone says, I can't afford your course, or I can't afford to be part of your mastermind or do anything like that, then I can say, hey, I got a book. It's less than $20. Go get it on Amazon. There you go. So that is part of the reason why I created the book, and having to do some market research on, I created a launch team. Like there's all kinds of things involved. And actually, Laura, if you purchase the book, I did a training that is all about how I wrote the book, like how everything worked. Like I go through my whole project plan in Asana of how I created it, how I titled it, and a lot of other fun things. So if you buy the book on thebestpodcastbook.com, then there's a place in there to put your invoice number from Amazon, and you can get this free training. So great question. Great question. Yeah, you flight up over podcasting. For sure. It makes me so happy. So happy. If y'all have, marketing is my weakness. Yeah, marketing doesn't come natural to most people because it feels either self-serving or it feels like, you're just talking about yourself the whole time. And that can be really uncomfortable for a lot of people, but you have to really switch your thinking from I'm just talking about myself, I'm talking about how amazing I am or my podcast is or anything like that. You have to switch your mindset to how can I serve other people and what problem am I trying to solve for them? Because then in like making that mind shift change, it becomes so much easier. Like this is why I love podcasting, because it's not about me. It's not about me and oh, my podcast is amazing. It's about me getting the right tools in front of the right people who can actually make a difference in someone else's life. Like whenever I remove myself from my products, my services, and what I do and focus instead on, I have these tools to help other people share their messages, then I need to do that. I need to show up and give them these products, put these programs in front of them, because this is what helps them share their important message. So when it comes to marketing, especially with doing a book, I think that one of the best things you can do is share the entire journey with your audience. I look back and I'm so grateful. I actually did a YouTube video that it didn't turn out great. There were some formatting issues between like 4K video and 1080p. Like it's a whole technical thing that really screwed up. And some of the video is jacked up. But I did a video that you can go watch on my YouTube channel. You can look up how I wrote Start a Binge Worthy Podcast. There's a YouTube video for it. But I shared every part of my journey. I did Facebook Lives in my launch group, and I share those in that video. I did Instagram stories. I did a few Instagram lives, and I took all of that and I blended it together to show you my writing process. Like whenever I first sent everything to my editor, and then whenever I was finished with the first draft of the book. And then I did this thing. I don't see that either. I'm trying to think of where I have all this. It's not this one. Y'all, I have another book. Y'all are totally... I need to clean out my drawer. Okay, I have a drawer in my desk that I need to clean out. This is another book that I have, a book that I've written. This is my next book. Okay, this is my memoir that I wrote in 2017. Yeah, I wrote it in 2017. And I don't know exactly when I'm going to publish this. I don't know when I'm actually going to release this out into the world. But this is what I did with my other book. And I don't know where it is. I think it's over here. It's over here, and there's like a stack of books over here that I need to clean my office. Okay, I'm just going to call it what it is. I need to clean my office. But what I did is whenever I wrote Start a Binge Worthy Podcast, I had it printed. And you can do this at Office Depot, anything like that. And I did it double spaced, pretty much like this. And I bound it, so whenever I was editing it, I was doing it by hand. I can't edit on the screen. It's too distracting. I get like, oh, let me go check my email. Let me go look at Facebook. No, I took a highlighter and literally a red pen, and I went through and I edited everything in the book first. Then I sent that to my editor. Then she sent it back to me, and I shared all of that, all those pieces of my journey whenever to my audience. And so when the book was coming, like it was actually launching in October of 2020, it wasn't just like this news to my audience that, oh, she all of a sudden has a book. It's, oh, here's the book that Crystal's been working on for almost a year and it's finally here. I would love to support her and pre-order the book. I would love to support her because I helped pick the title of the book. So I think that there's a whole backstory and how you can really launch a book. And I learn something every single time I do this about myself, about the audience, and about how to market a book really well. So I highly encourage, go watch that YouTube video. And I think that it could be really helpful. Does anybody have any other podcasting questions before we hop out of here? Like, I want to do more regular Facebook Lives like we've done in the past. But like I said, y'all, my summer schedule is crazy. It's crazy. So I knew I could hop on here for 30 minutes. I didn't want to lose touch with this audience. I wanted to check in. I will not be here next week because I'm going to be on vacation, but I will check in the following week. So that would be, hang on, I got my wall calendar over here. So July 6th could be the next time when I do it. Do you see how I said it could be? Because I don't really know 100%. Like, I don't want to make any full-blown commitments because I don't know exactly when we're going to be back and what we're going to be doing. But that's my guess. Yeah. So July 6th could possibly be our next live. I don't know. Everything will be better when we're back in school and I have like actual work hours and not like, hey, go in there and turn on the TV and grab a snack because mama's got to go in here and do a video real fast. Okay? Like, you get it? You understand? You're with me? I hope that y'all have a fantastic Taco Tuesday, and I will talk to you soon. Remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. Bye, y'all.